Oh, and get this. Liz brings food to Garfield. She brings food to Garfield. Like, no, table scraps. Like, what are you doing? You're an enabler. What's it called? This is my channel. My name is Ralia Marie. I am a veterinary technician. Did things out of order. I got my bachelor's in animal science pre-vet. I'm working as a technician now, and I'm getting my veterinary technician. I'm in a veterinary technician program to become a certified veterinary technician. Subscribe, hit that little subscribe. We're gonna do some education and fun stuff on this channel, so subscribe. Let's get into it, because I'm so tired. I'm tired. Let me just tell you one more time. I am tired of watching something, like a movie or a show or a series, and the veterinary medical person is always toxic. Why? We're trying here. We're trying to change the perspective of veterinary medicine. There's these Hollywood shows and Hollywood movies that when they decide, what profession do we make this very, depressed, toxic person with a horrible background? What career path do we give them? Let's throw them into the vet med field. So the first person toxic character we're gonna bash that Hollywood has made a vet med character is Ma, from the movie Ma that came out in 2019, which is a horror film. And basically Ma does make very horrible decisions and actions that make her the horror character in this movie, being that she, first of all, bought teenagers alcohol. She invites them to her basement to have parties and to drink. She makes one of them strip and holding a gun to them as a joke. Oh gosh. She's a very toxic character. She goes on to have these parties for underage students. She gives them controlled drugs. She basically knocking them out and doing very questionable stuff. She holds these kids hostage and she kills people throughout the movie. She does have a very toxic background where stuff happened to her as a kid from the cool kid of the school that she was into when she was in high school. She's the horror character. She's a toxic character. She has a horrible background, and the career choice that Hollywood decided to give her, veterinary technician. This is how Hollywood explains it, the easy way for her to get controlled drugs. It makes me wonder, how Ma was able to take these drugs and nobody noticed, because at the end of the day, why is nobody looking at the drug logs? There should be drug logs that are showing that that stuff is missing, okay? And it's not being logged. And Ma shows signs throughout the movie that she has something going on, okay? That she's not completely together. The whole environment that they show of working at that clinic seems like, working at this clinic is toxic. This veterinarian's demanding of this technician and is not asking if so-and-so is okay. Well, Ma, in this case. They call her Ma, but I don't remember what her name was. Okay. With a Dora haircut. Ma, what are you doing? You even wear pink, and some of your scrubs, or you're Alright, so next Hollywood show or, movie or show that we're gonna bash about, because I can't. And I love this show. I watch it so much. It's an Adult Swim show. It is Rick and Morty. Yeah, we're going to talk about Beth, y'all. We're going to talk about Beth. I mean, Beth has her own, again, another toxic character that has a lot of shit going on. And she works in the vet field. Who is crying? Do you want to steal the show? Beth has a lot going on. She has a horrible relationship with her father. She's a veterinary. She is a veterinarian. Specifically in her bio, she's a veterinary surgeon. Why she only works with horses, I don't know. That's her character design. However, it's very, very unrealistic that she just works with horses, because I do know veterinarians that specialize in horses, but they don't work with horses all day, because that's not realistic, okay? And she probably didn't just go to vet school just to worked on horses. The veterinary field is so demanding that most likely Beth would have to work on other animals. So the whole episode with the deer and her trying to save the deer, that whole episode was so toxic, because this other girl, I don't remember if she was a full-out veterinarian. I just remember that she was working with with a snake. So I'm assuming she's a veterinarian. It was very toxic and very rude and disrespectful of her to call Beth out as somebody who was not capable of doing this surgery. That girl should have been flagged herself, and if she was an actual veterinarian, that is just so rude. No veterinarian is greater than another, and we shouldn't be shooting down other veterinarians at all. And that whole episode was just so toxic. I hated it so much. Why did Beth have to prove herself? In other words, why did she have to prove herself? Okay? Why? Just why? Nobody believed in her, and she had to prove herself to do this surgery, which obviously the method of the surgery is not accurate, but still, she's a veterinarian, she is certified. They shouldn't have been questioning her. She might not be specialized in that. She is specialized in horses. But at the same time, I really hate that episode where this other veterinarian tries to challenge her and brings her down. And that's very, very toxic. And it just is a toxic representation of the veterinary field. So Beth herself as a character shows this unmentally stable character as a veterinarian, and then goes even further to show this specific episode where she has to prove herself as a veterinarian, which this other veterinarian is like, you're not worth it. Hello, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? All right, so the last VetMed character Hollywood has created that we are going to bash is Liz from Garfield, and I hate her the most. I really do, okay? She is visually seeing that this animal is suffering because it is overweight, and she continues to feed it lasagna. She continues to let it eat lasagna. Liz is a veterinarian, right? She is a veterinarian in the comics, in the show, and everything. She's a veterinarian. The first time she comes out is more of her being a love interest, and is not her in her profession. She does talk about that Garfield needs to get on a diet, that he's overweight, and he should be eating table scraps, which, great. Yes, that's what we want. Yes. But that's not focused on, okay? You know what's focused on in that comic? What's focused on it is John holding his breath so that way she will go out on a date with him. Oh my gosh. First of all, no. For a client it just upsets me that like they made Liz so much of a love character that they took away the professional interaction between the client and the veterinarian and staff initially. Furthermore, the more that they take away from Liz's professionalism is when she actually goes on that date. It is a Thanksgiving dinner that she goes to for the date, and it's barely been a day. It's the same comic, and she decides to drop Garfield's diet restriction, saying that she would rather Garfield be happy and overweight. No. Okay? They decided to make her so much of a love character that they removed her diagnosis the same comic, the same freaking day, and say, I would rather you be overweight and happy, Garfield. Oh my gosh, Liz, is it that good? Tell me, is it that good that you decide, you know what, this cat is overweight and it's suffering and it's in pain, and I know it is because I'm a veterinarian? Forget all that. Forget all of that. And that's where I hate Liz the most, okay? She goes from being this professional who says, hey, dude, your cat is overweight. Garfield, you need to go on to a diet. And then they take her character and they make her the love interest by basically forcing her to go on a date with John. Your medical reason and the medical stuff that you have going on. I'd rather you be overweight and happy. You know what? Let me give you some lasagna. Oh my gosh, you're eating lasagna right in front of my face? Go ahead. Oh, and get this. Liz brings food to Garfield. She brings food to Garfield. Like, no, table scraps. Like, what are you doing? You're an enabler. What's it called? Liz is an enabler, and that is why I'm upset about her character design, about her being only for a love interest, about her throwing out her professional opinion and the welfare and health of this animal. Because, because apparently her being the love interest is more important than her putting her medical health of Garfield in importance. So Maddie from Sonic the Hedgehog is the only one of Hollywood's representations that I see as a good balanced character. And don't get me wrong, some of the stuff or her methods in the movie are not accurately correct, but at the same time she does yoga. She seems like she's a hardworking person. She has a good head over her shoulders. She doesn't show any toxic background. She's the only one that I personally have seen a character that's playing a veterinary medical person, whether in her case a veterinarian, that is not extremely toxic, and I appreciate that. I really do. I really appreciate it. We need more Hollywood shows to show characters like Maddie from Sonic the Hedgehog. A normal person as a veterinarian, okay? And, they even go even further and show the normal struggles of what a veterinary student would have when they talk about her going to vet school and how Donut Lord, can't remember his real name right now, but Donut Lord worked like 2 or 3 jobs to help pay for tuition and pay their bills for Maddie. And that's That's reality, okay? Veterinary medicine is expensive. And paying for vet school is expensive. And that's real life right there. That's like Sonic the Hedgehog was such a great movie, and it goes even further by showing a great representation of the struggles of vet med and shows a normal person playing a veterinarian or any vet medical person in the show, in the movie. I hate this lady, the aunt, whoever she is. How dare you try to break that relationship? The man worked 2 to 3 jobs while she was in vet school to pay for bills and tuition. Do you not see the love? Do you not see the love? This has been a video about the toxic representations of vet med characters that Hollywood has created. And even one good one with Maddie from Sonic the Hedgehog. So if you want me to watch any shows or movies that do have veterinarians or veterinary technicians or veterinary assistants or anything like that, obviously not the real life National Geographic ones, put it in the comments below. I'll take a look at them. I don't watch every single show, but help me out. Help me realize where they're at, and I'll go watch it. Alright, so this has been this episode. See y'all next time. Buena!